Welcome back. All right, 8 games today in the National Hockey League, all with one video to review all of them today, so I didn't split them out. Pretty exciting action today. We'll go ahead, we'll start things off with Colorado and Philadelphia. Blackwood versus Harrison as the Avalanche's road trip continues. There's an early press by the Flyers. McKinnon has a near miss on a turnover, and then at 2:08, Couturier deflects a point shot into the net. Juleson and Tippett with the assists. It's 1-0 Philadelphia. The Avs press at 4 minutes. They're kept to the outside. The teams trade rushes and turnovers. Shots are 4-2 for Colorado at 6.5 minutes. And at 8:28, Burns with a wrister blocker side on a good cycle by Colorado ties the game at 1. The assist to Natchez and Drury. The Flyers look to respond. The Avs press with 7.5 minutes left. With 2:35 left, the Avalanche get a power play. There's a post for Natchez during that, and then at 19:09, Nelson with a chip shot from the doorstep, McKinnon with the assist, gives Colorado the lead at 2-1, and that's your score after 20 minutes. Second period, there's an early press by the Avalanche. Landeskog gets denied, but then at 1:47, Nichushkin's not denied. He has a wrister that's deflected top corner. Olofsson and Taves with the assists. So suddenly it's 3-1 for the Avalanche, and we know how good they are with the lead. The Avs controlling, the fans really quiet at this point. The Flyers press at 4 minutes. They're kept to the outside. Zegras has a wrister that's caught and held. And then at 5:58, Philadelphia gets within a goal. Konechny goes 5-hole on a fast break. Andre and Dvorak with the assists. So now the score is 3-2. Avalanche still ahead. The teams trade rushes and turnovers after that. Olofsson's denied on a breakaway. Konechny's then denied on a net drive opportunity. The Avs draw a power play. That's killed off. Natchez is knocked into Harrison. We get some pushing after that. The shots were 12-9 in favor of the Avalanche with 3 minutes left. The Avs press with a minute and a half left. And with 7.3 seconds left, the Flyers get a power play. So it's 3-2 Colorado after 2. And to start the third period, the Flyers with a long power play. However, the Avalanche kill that off. They don't allow a shot either, so no momentum to Philadelphia coming out of that. Cates has a sharp angle chance that's saved. The Flyers press at 4 minutes. There's a near miss for Hathaway and a net feed. There was a penalty shot for Zegras. This is one of the weirdest stats with Trevor Zegras. In terms of his abilities on shootouts, he is statistically trending towards being the best shootout player we've ever seen. And yet, penalty shots, he's now 0 for 3. This one was saved. So, somebody needs to just tell him, it's a shootout. No, it's a shootout. We're doing this in the middle of the game now. Then he'll score. Tippett's denied on a rush. The shots are 5-1 Flyers at 8 minutes. Konechny has a rush chance that's saved. The Flyers get some pressure after that. More pressure by Philly with 6 minutes left. The fans call a trip. The referee does not. The Flyers call a timeout with 1:59 left. That's also when they pull the goaltender with 22.8 seconds left. There's a face-off in the Flyers zone that forces them to put Harrison back in the net. And the clock just gets run out by Colorado. They win this one 3-2 in Denver. Shots on net, 12-3 Colorado in the first, 13-9 Colorado in the second, 14-3 Philadelphia in the third. Final shots, 28-26 for Colorado. Power plays, the Avalanche 1 for 2. Philadelphia 0 for 1. The hits, 21-18 Philadelphia. Blackwood saves 24-26. He was very good. Harrison, 25 saves on 28 shots. So, I don't know that the Avs played necessarily that well, but they get the wins, and that's what they do. They just win all the time. All right, next up, the Islanders in Florida. Riddick versus Tarasov. The Panthers press at a minute and a half. Greer has a slot shot that deflects wide. Shots are 3-2 Islanders at 4 minutes. There's a post for Studnicka from a sharp angle. The Panthers press at 8 minutes. Ritchie has a net feed that's blocked. The game was really going at an Islanders pace early on in this one, too. Marchand fires one wide on a net drive. Shots are 5-4 Florida with 8.5 minutes left. And at 12-12, Balinskis. It's a point shot past the screen, opening the scoring for Florida. The assist to Samoskevich and Greer. Panthers press with 5.5 minutes left. Siplikov with a near miss on a rush. The Islanders press with 2 minutes left. It stays 1-0 for Florida after 1. Second period, there's an early press by the Panthers. Petrie has a one-timer that's caught and held. We then get a power play for Florida. The Islanders do kill that off. Shots are 4-3 for Florida at 6.5 minutes. And at 7:05, it's a turnover, and it's roofed in close by Verhaeghe. The assist to Petrie and Bennett. And then at 9:03, so a little less than 2 minutes later, the Islanders score to make it a 2-1 game. Barzal, it's a backhand that actually goes in off Forsling. However it goes in, doesn't matter, it's a goal. At 9:03, the assist to Schaefer and Pulock. The Islanders then draw a power play. That's killed off. The Panthers press with 6 minutes left. Studnicka fires one wide via a 2-on-1 rush. Every now and then you see a game from Jack Studnicka and you think, there's still some NHL talent there. He can just put it together. I've seen it in Vancouver and Boston, and I see it in Florida as well. Good late forechecking by Florida, and they hold the lead 2-1 after 2 periods of play. Third period, the Islanders controlled the early play. We then get 2 minutes of 4-on-4. Ekblad has a slot chance that's held. The shots are only one apiece, 4 minutes in. Neither team with much of a path to the net. There's a toe save on a Schaefer one-timer. The Panthers press with 9 minutes left. The Islanders are getting very limited time with the puck, and when they have the puck, they're getting harassed immediately. More pressure by Florida with 7.5 minutes left. The Islanders get pinned, but they are blocking the path to the net as well as they can. We get 2 minutes of 4-on-4 with 6:32 left, and the Florida Panthers seem to like that, because at 13:57, Jones buries one from the slot on a rush. It's a 4-on-4 goal. Lundell and Reinhart with the assists. The goalie pull would happen with 3:07 left because they're down by 2. And at 17:06, Sam Reinhart hits the empty net. Forsling with the helper. Florida wins this one 4-1. Shots on net, 11-10 Florida in the first, 11-8 Florida in the second, 8-3 Florida in the third. Final shots are 30-21 for the Panthers. Power plays, both teams go 0 for 1. The hits, 23-18 for the Islanders. Riddick, 26 saves on 29 shots. Tarasov, 20 saves on 21 shots. All right, next up, the San Jose Sharks and the Carolina Hurricanes. So it's Nedeljkovic versus Kochetkov. And what San Jose needed was an early goal, and they would get it. 33 seconds in on their first shot, Graf tips in a net feed, Celebrini and Smith with the assist. So Celebrini's on the board, Smith's on the board, and Graf gets a goal. And it is a lead for San Jose in Carolina. Canes look to respond. Gaudette then has a rush chance to block or decide. Carolina presses at 5 minutes. We then get a power play for the Sharks. Smith has a rush chance that's kicked aside. The next chance Smith had was held. That power play is killed off. Shots are 6-3 San Jose at 9 minutes. The Canes would then draw a power play, and they score on it. At 13:18, it's a point shot batted in by Stahl. The assist to Gostisbehere and Ehlers. We have ourselves a 1-1 tie. Canes then look for the lead. Leddy has the stick that dies on a one-timer, so that causes a rush the other way. The Sharks press with 2.5 minutes left. With 1:42 left, Carolina goes back to the power play. So that runs to the end of the first period. They're not able to score on it, and it rolls over to the second period where the Sharks finish the kill. The score still tied at 1. Shots are 2-0 Canes at 3.5 minutes. The teams trade rushes and turnovers, and at 7:54, Klingberg with a one-timer from the slot, and he was just left there. Like, I don't know if they looked and went, that's John Klingberg. What's he going to do? He took the shot and he got it. The assist to Celebrini and Khrushchev. So Celebrini with a couple of helpers, and San Jose's ahead 2-1 in this one. Sharks press 9 minutes in. Ehlers then had a rush chance that's kicked aside. The shots are 4-3 for the Canes at 8.5 minutes left. We then get pressure by Carolina with 6.5 minutes left. The Sharks, though, they would end up drawing themselves a power play, and they score on it. At 15:14, Wenberg buries a rebound glove side. Eklund and Klingberg with the assists. San Jose has a 3-1 lead in Carolina. So, didn't see that coming. There was a press by Carolina with 2 minutes left, but it stays 3-1 San Jose after 2. Third period, Khrushchev has a net drive that's blocked. The Sharks press at 2.5 minutes. Ehlers fires one wide on a rush. Good back-checking by San Jose. I thought San Jose did a really good job of back-checking at that point. The Canes, though, they would draw a power play. Gostisbehere is a one-timer that's kicked aside. That power play was killed off, but Nedeljkovic had himself a busy third period. I think Nedeljkovic, though, knowing, he played in Carolina, I think that just elevates his game that little bit. So, Graf has a rush chance that's blocked. The Canes press at 9 minutes. Halfway through the period, the shots are 12-1 for Carolina. They did not get 12 shots in the second half of the period. Aho has a sharp angle chance that's held. Eklund's denied as the Sharks get some pressure. The Sharks are leaning on Nedeljkovic a little bit during the 6-on-5 Carolina had until, at 18:40, Celebrini hits the empty net, the assist to Wenberg, and then we had 4-on-4 play to finish out the game. San Jose with a huge win. They win 4-1 in Carolina today. Shots on net, 8-6 Carolina in the first, 9-6 San Jose in the second, 15-7 Carolina in the third. Final shots, 29-22 in favor of Carolina. Power plays, 1 for 2 for San Jose, 1 for 3 for Carolina. The hits, 21-12 for San Jose. Nedeljkovic, 28 saves on 29 shots. Kochetkov saved 18 out of 21. All right, last one on this board, Pittsburgh and Dallas. So I went with the Robo Penguin for the Magnets tonight, because why not? Have fun with it. Since Dallas was wearing their 99 throwback, I figured, sure, in the 90s, they used the Robo Penguin, I'll do that. So it's Jarry versus Ottinger. There's a press by the Penguins at 1.5 minutes. The Stars do block them out. 3 minutes in, Dallas had the only shot on net to that point in the game. Rantanen has a rush chance. That's kicked aside. There's a net feed to Rust. Near miss there for the Penguins. McGroarty tries to bank one in. That ends up being held by Ottinger. Shots are 4 apiece at 8 minutes. There was a crossbar for Petrovic as the Stars had some pressure. Stars press again with 5.5 minutes left. Mantha fires one wide on a rush. And then at 18-18, Dewar. He puts one 5-hole on a rush from the slot as well. Lizotte and Achari with the assists on that one. So we have ourselves a 1-0 lead for the Penguins. Dallas presses to respond, but it stays 1-0 after 1. Second period, 1 minute and 27 seconds in, Dallas would tie it. Ben, it's a cross-ice pass and in on a rush. Jamie Benn scores again. So since that 400th goal, he's been fine with goal scoring. The assists to Hintz and Robertson. Shots are 2-1 Dallas at 4 minutes. The Penguins press. They're kept to the outside. Crosby fires one high on a net drive, and then at 5:56, it's a screened point shot that gets tipped in. Novak gets credited with the goal. The assist to Letang and Crosby. The Stars press to respond. The Penguins draw a power play. That's killed off. The shots are 6-2 for Pittsburgh with 8.5 minutes left. The Penguins draw a power play. That's killed off. Rantanen couldn't bury one on a turnover. It's 2-1 Pittsburgh after 2 periods of play. Third period, early jump for the Penguins. Good forechecking then by Dallas after that. The teams would trade rush chances. Hayes has a net drive. That gets blocked. The Penguins press at 7 minutes. Carlson fires one wide. The Stars rush. Kolyachonok has a net feed that gets picked off. The Penguins press with 9.5 minutes left. Koivunen's denied on a one-timer. Stars draw a power play. That's killed off. That was the only power play they had in the game. So both teams with really good power plays. Neither of them clicked in this game, and they only had a combined 3 opportunities in it. The fans call one. The referee does not. The goalie pull happens with 3:03 left, and Dallas scores 6 on 5 at 18-11. Heiskanen with a one-timer pass to screen. Johnston and Rantanen with the assists. It's 2-2. We're going to overtime. In the overtime, the Penguins 1-5 coming into this. Dallas 3-5 in overtimes. The Stars control. The Penguins steal it. Dallas steals it back. There were a lot of turnovers in this overtime. Tons. Robertson's robbed on a rush, and then Robertson was denied again on a 3-on-1 opportunity as well. We go to the shootout. In the shootout, it's Mikko Rantanen with the winner. So Dallas wins this one in a shootout 3-2. Pittsburgh looked pretty good today. So I know when the power rankings came out, there was some discussion about Pittsburgh's placement. I think they showed today they're in a good spot, whereas the Islanders, they lose against Florida. So neither team moved on the power rankings today. I'll put it that way. I do update them every night. I did not move the Islanders down. I did not move Pittsburgh up. I'm like that. These guys are in the right spot. Shots on net, 7 apiece in the first, 11-3 Pittsburgh in the second, 9 apiece in the third, and then 4-2 Dallas in the overtime. Final shots, 29-23 for Pittsburgh. Power plays, the Penguins 0-2, Dallas 0-1. The hits, 26-17 Pittsburgh. Jarry saved 21 out of 23. Ottinger saved 27 out of 29. All right, let's go to board number 2. All right, Blues and Canadiens. So it's Binnington versus Dobesh in this one. The Habs press at 2 minutes. We get a power play for Montreal. That's killed off. Shots were 4-1 Montreal at 5 minutes. And all I kept thinking was, doesn't this look like last night's game between Ottawa and St. Louis just a little bit? So the Blues draw a power play, and they score on it at 8:57. Shen with a wrister from the side of the net. It was only the second shot on net for St. Louis. Fowler and Holloway with the assists, so really started feeling like last night's game. Buchnevich missed an open net chance shortly thereafter, and then at 12:20, Dobson dekes around Binnington and puts it in the net. Bolduc and Davidson with the assist, so Bolduc with an assist against his former team. The Habs then press for the lead. Eventually they would get there at 19:03 on a pass from behind the goal line. Caulfield scores, Suzuki and Dobson with the assist, so Dobson with a goal and a helper. Montreal's up 2-1. That's your score through 20 minutes. Second period, things go crazy early on. At 26 seconds, the Blues tie it. It's a 2-on-1 rush. Holloway buries it. Shannon Parayko with the assists. Seconds after that, at 1:05, Buchnevich tips one in from the doorstep to give the Blues the lead at 3-2. The assist to Thomas and Falk. And all I'm thinking at that point is, give me a lot of goals in this one. I was wrong. So the Habs look to respond. We get a power play for Montreal. Demidov gets robbed during that. The Blues clear. They do kill that off. The Blues press at 9.5 minutes. Neighbors has a wrister that's held as the Blues get some pressure. The shots are 6-4 Montreal with 6.5 minutes left. Slafkovsky has a rush chance that gets blocked out. Blues press in the final minute, and at 37.6 seconds left, the Blues draw a power play. So after 2 periods of play, it's 3-2 St. Louis. They have a power play to start the third. Montreal finishes the kill to start the third. Neighbors has a net feed that's picked off, but 4 minutes in, the shots are 2-0 for St. Louis. Davidson has a net feed that's held. The Habs press at 9 minutes. However, at 10:24, Shen. It's a cross-ice pass and in. Braden Shen gets the second goal of the game. Holloway and Joseph with the assists. It's 4-1 in favor of St. Louis. The Canadians look to respond. Dobson has a net drive that gets blocked. We get 2 minutes of 4-on-4. The goalie pull would happen with 5 minutes left, and at 16:15, Montreal gets a goal. Dobson, it's a point shot on a face-off win. Matheson and Demidov with the assists, so suddenly it's 4-3. The Blues press with 3 minutes left. The goalie pull would happen again. Sorry, 4-3. I meant not 4-1. It was 4-2. The Blues press with 3 minutes left. The goalie pull would happen again with 29 seconds left. Montreal calls a timeout, and Caulfield ultimately runs out of time. He tries the buzzer beater. Montreal just ran out the clock. St. Louis wins this one 4-3. Shots on net, 11-4 Montreal in the first, 7-6 Montreal in the second. Both teams had 8 shots in the third. Final shots 26-18 for Montreal. St. Louis making the most of getting very many shots on back-to-back nights. Power plays 1-for-2 for St. Louis, 0-for-2 for Montreal. The hits 34-14 for the Blues. Binnington saved 23 out of 26. Dobesh saved 14 out of 18. Look at that. I'm giving him credit for saves he didn't make. It's 14 out of 18. So the Montreal Canadiens goaltending question is still out there, and we'll see whether or not that gets any more attention with tomorrow being Monday. And, of course, the media is going to be talking about stuff from the weekend. So Montreal's goaltending may very well be in the spotlight again. All right, next up, Vegas. Vegas in New York against the Rangers. So it's Hart versus Quick, and 36 seconds in, Vegas gets the lead. So Howden buries one in close on a turnover. Marner and Stone with the assists. So 1-0 Vegas very early in this one, and it puts the Rangers up against it. Vegas has a 3-on-2 that misfires. The shots are 2-1 Vegas at 3.5 minutes. The Rangers then had a 2-on-1 that misfired the other way. Kolasar has a fight with Carrick. Vegas presses halfway through the period. A lot of time in the Rangers zone in that first period for Vegas. Not nearly as many shots as you would have thought, though. The shots are 7-1 Vegas with 6.5 minutes left, and Vegas would only get one shot the rest of the way. The Rangers press are kept to the outside. Vegas gets some pressure with 4 minutes left, but we run out the period, and the score is still 1-0 in favor of the Golden Knights. Second period, Berard's denied on a net drive. Shots are 2 apiece at 4.5 minutes. I thought the Rangers had a much better first 5 minutes to that period than they did the first period. Rangers press at 5.5 minutes. Saad can't bury one via 3-on-2 rush, and then the Rangers get on the board. Zibanejad buries a rebound close at 9:08. Robertson and Lafreniere with the assists. So 1-1 tie. Vegas presses are kept to the outside. Things get pushy on a hold by Carter Hart, so we get 2 minutes of 4-on-4 out of that. Miller gets denied by Hart on a rebound, and then at 13:01, it is a 4-on-4 goal. Lafreniere scores this one from Zibanejad and Panarin. So Rangers with their first lead of the game at 2-1. Things get pushy on the next hold by Hart. Vegas presses with 5 minutes left. With 49.8 seconds left, Vegas gets a power play. There's a shorthanded rush by Cooley. That gets saved, and that power play rolls over into the third period with the Rangers leading 2-1. Dorofeev has a slap shot that's caught and held. The Rangers do finish the kill there. Vegas presses at 4 minutes. A net feed to Eichel. Near miss there. Sherry's denied on a breakaway. The shots were 7-3 for Vegas with 9 minutes left. And as much as there's controversy to talk about from here, the Rangers didn't have a shot in the last 9 minutes of this game, at least in regulation. Like, that's insane at home to have not a single shot after that. So Vegas presses with 6.5 minutes left. Howden has a net feed that gets picked off. With 1:58 left, we get 2 minutes of 4-on-4, which made Mike Sullivan big mad. Mike Sullivan was big mad because then it's 5-on-4 instead of 6-on-5 with the extra man on the ice. But you're still allowed to kill the penalty. It's an option. And in this case, it's 4-on-4 becomes a 5-on-4. So you pull the goalie with 1 minute and 20 seconds left, and sure enough, Vegas scores. At 19:08, it's Hurdle bearing a rebound and close. Stone and Eichel with the assists. And I do wonder, like, Sullivan was kind of losing his mind, and he kind of lost his mind when that goal went in. If the coach behind the bench just said, all right, boys, we'll just have to kill this off, and just shrugs it off, do they kill it off? Did Mike Sullivan losing his temper caused the Rangers to get a little more worked up than they otherwise might have. Either way, we have a tie game. We're going to overtime. The Rangers controlled early. Miller to Zibanejad gets picked off. Zibanejad gets denied. Hart holds on there. And then at 4:52, Eichel dekes quick out and in the net. Theodore and Howden with the assists. It's a beautiful breakaway goal by Eichel end-to-end. And Vegas wins this one 3-2. So shots on net, I think, do tell the story here. 8-3 Vegas in the first, 16-6 Rangers in the second, 13-3 Vegas in the third. So I do think for all of the complaints about the hurdle goal on 5-on-4 and all that, it kind of masks the fact Rangers didn't have a good third period. And in the overtime, Vegas outshoots them 2-1, including the shot that matters. Final shots 29-23 for the Golden Knights. Power plays, Vegas 0 for 1. The Rangers didn't have one. The hits 33-15 Rangers. Hart saves 21 out of 23. Quick saves 26 out of 29. All right, next up, the Columbus Blue Jackets and the Washington Capitals. Greaves versus Thompson in this one. Early jump for the Caps. Chychrun has a net feed that's blocked. Shots are 3 apiece at 3.5 minutes. Fantilli has a net feed that's a near miss. That first half of the period was pretty wide open. Lots of chances both ways for each team. Shots were 10-8 for Columbus with 7.5 minutes left, and then there wasn't a whole lot that happened after that. Caps press with 6.5 minutes left, but both teams are back checking pretty well. By my count, from the 10-minute mark to the end of the period, there were about 4 shots total between the two teams. So there's no score after the first, and Columbus is doing their best to play Washington's game. The problem is you're playing Washington's game. Second period, 50 seconds in, and Washington would score. Chychrun, it's a one-timer from the left circle. Wilson and Beauvillier with the assists. It's 1-0 Washington, and they're really good with the lead, so not great news for Columbus there. Columbus looks to respond. The Caps would press 2 minutes in. Shots are 2-1 Washington at 4 minutes. We get a power play for Washington. That's killed off. Washington presses after it's done. Lapierre has a fast break chance. That's kicked aside. Columbus presses with 8.5 minutes left. The Caps go back to the power play. That's killed off. 58.5 seconds left. It becomes Caps power play, which then 12 seconds later becomes 4-on-4. So overlapping penalties being as they are, it's 1-0 Capitals after 2. Third period, McMichael has a net drive chance that's held. Everything ends up being killed off. Columbus presses at 2 minutes. In fact, the shots are 3-0 Columbus at 3.5 minutes. More pressure by the Blue Jackets at 6.5 minutes. Thompson very busy in that third period. It's bend, don't break defense by the Caps, which when the Caps are playing it, it's okay. There's some teams make me nervous. The Caps aren't one of them. We get a 4-minute Columbus power play. Voronkov couldn't bury one in close. That puck gets held. There's a shorthanded rush by Wilson. Provorov has a one-timer that's blocked. They end up killing that 4-minute power play. 5 shots for Columbus during the 4-minute power play. Caps then draw a power play of their own. Wilson has a chance that nearly scores. The Caps then call a timeout during the power play to give their guys a bit of a rest, but Columbus still finishes the kill. Capitals press with 4 minutes left. The goalie pull happens with 2 minutes and 40 seconds left. Fantilli has a net feed that gets blocked, and then at 18:34, Protas hits the empty net. Another empty netter for Alexei Protas. Ferravari with the assists. They would pull the goaltender again with the Blue Jackets to no avail. Washington wins 2-0. The chess magnet's on the board, as is the Tony the Tiger magnet, because Logan Thompson was great. If he's not on the Canadian Olympic team, there's a problem. Shots on net, 12-9 Columbus in the first, 19-11 Washington in the second, 16-10 Columbus in the third. Final shots, 39-38 for Columbus. And if Bruce Cassidy and Logan Thompson don't necessarily see eye to eye or get along, deal with it. It's the Olympics. Power plays 0 for 3 for Columbus, 0 for 4 for Washington. 16-12 were the hits in favor of the Capitals. Greaves saves 36 out of 37. He was very good, but Thompson saves all 39 for the shutout victory, his 7th career shutout. Put him on the Olympic team already. All right, Chicago and Anaheim. Soderblom versus Husso. I do not expect Logan Thompson to be named to the Canadian Olympic team. I just don't think it's going to happen. So, Soderblom versus Husso. Early press by Anaheim. We get a power play for Chicago. That's killed off. 1 shot on net. Ducks press after it's done. Carlson has a chance that's blocked out. The shots are 3-1 for Anaheim at 5 minutes. It's kind of quiet until 10:15. Trouba ends up scoring an unassisted goal. Opens the scoring for Anaheim. Continues to play well. In fact, he almost added another right after that goal went in. We get a power play for Anaheim. That's killed off. The Hawks press with 5.5 minutes left. Levshunov has a wrister that's blocked aside. The Ducks, giving you an example of how much they were caving in the Blackhawks' defense tonight, They outshot the Hawks 17-5 with 4 minutes left in the period. The shots were 17-5 for Anaheim. 1:53 left. The Ducks get a power play. That leads to a shorthanded fast break for Teravainen, which is saved and gets us to the end of the first period with the score just 1-0 for Anaheim. Second period, the Ducks press at 2 minutes. Granlund has a slot shot that's kicked aside. It's good forechecking by the Ducks, and Soderblom's the only reason it's close at this point. Like, I know by the end of the night the stat line's not all that flattering, but Soderblom's the only reason this one isn't 4 or 5-0 at this point. Moore has a 2-on-1 chance that's held by Husso. The shots are 7-2 for the Ducks at 5 minutes. We then get a power play for Anaheim, and they score on it. McTavish roofs a rebound at 6 minutes and 40 seconds. Seneca and Gauthier with the assists. And then at 9:26, Seneca wires one far side from the right circle. Gauthier and Gudas with the assists. So now the Ducks are ahead 3-0. 30 minutes into this game, Chicago had 8 shots. That's it. 8 shots 30 minutes into this game. Doc has a net feed that's picked off. Eventually, at 16:09, Killorn gets what's only his second goal of the season. He scores that from Strome and Minchikov. And then at 17:23, Leo Carlsson adds one. He scores from Kreider and Terry. And then with 1:15 left, the Ducks go to the power play. So after 2 periods of play, it's 5-0 in favor of Anaheim. Like, I don't know what to say. After getting bombed by the LA Kings, it was like, they're like, well, let's do that again. That was kind of fun. I don't know. Third period, 15 seconds in, during that power play that rolled over from the second period, the Ducks do score. Carlson, cross-crease passing in, on a rush. Kreider and Lacombe with the assists. So, 6-0 lead in favor of Anaheim. We then get a power play for Chicago, and they score on it. Just to ruin the shutout, it takes 8 seconds. Bertuzzi at 1:41 from Bedard and Levshinov. So, Bedard's not shut out for back-to-back games. It's rare that he is, but it's a very, very small silver lining if you're a Hawks fan. Shots are 4-1 Anaheim at 5.5 minutes. There's a net feed to Bedard that misses. Ducks would get some pressure with 9.5 minutes left. I was really keeping my notes to a minimum here because it's 6-1. Power play for Anaheim, that's killed off. And then at 18:08, it's a cross-ice pass and in on a rush. Frank Vetrano scores from Zellweger and Strome. Makes the score 7-1. That's your final. The no mercy magnets on the board because that's an ugly score for Chicago. They've been outscored 13-1 in their last 2 games. So, yeah. Shots on net, 17-6, Anaheim in the first. 27-7, Anaheim in the second. They actually had one more shot than their previous record for shots in a period. Setback, I think, was like 1994. Something like it. It's just been a long time. 27 shots in a period. And then 9-7 in the third for Anaheim as well. Final shots 53-20 for the Ducks. Power play Chicago 1 for 2. Anaheim 2 for 5. The hits 15-14 for Anaheim. Soderblom saves 46 out of 53, so he allows 7 goals and apparently set a career high for saves in a game. Husso saved 19 out of 20, and he gets the victory. So Anaheim getting some wins while their 2 goaltenders are out. All right, let's talk about the standings, shall we? All right, half the teams played today. You'll also notice I've added their records in their last 10. So Montreal misses out on an opportunity to jump into first place. They're now 15-10-3, 33 points in 28 games, 5-4-1 in their last 10. Washington extends their lead atop the division to 3 points over Carolina, 18-9-3 record, 39 points in 30 games. They're 8-1-1 in their last 10. Carolina 5-4-1 in their last 10, 17-9-2. That loss at home, that hurt them against San Jose. And then for the Islanders, they miss out on an opportunity to jump past Carolina. 16-11-3 record, 35 points in 30 games. They're 5-4-1 in their last 10 games. Pittsburgh, with the point they got tonight, they pull within a point of the Islanders with 3 games in hand. 14-7-6 record, 5-3-2 in their last 10. The Rangers got just the 1 point instead of 2. It's still enough to put them into the number 2 wildcard spot. 15-12-4 record, 34 points in 31 games. 5-3-2 record in their last 10 as well. Drops Philadelphia out. They, of course, had a regulation loss against Colorado, because everybody does. 15-9-3 record, 33 points in 27 games. They're 6-4 in their last 10. Columbus, with that loss against the Washington Capitals, now they're 3-3-4 in their last 10. So they're not 4-2-4 anymore. I don't know how I feel about that. 32 points in 29 games for Columbus. With the win today, Florida is starting to look like Florida again. 14-12-2 record, 30 points in 28 games. They're 5-4-1 in their last 10 games as well. And with that win, they jump past Toronto and Ottawa in the standings. They do have the tiebreaker on both of them. and they pull 4 points clear of Buffalo, who are at the bottom of the East. In the West, Colorado stays number 1. I took the Thor's hammer off because obviously they're the number 1 team in the league. If we have a change at some point in terms of who's number 1 in the NHL, I'll bring back the Thor's hammer to signify the President's Trophy leader. But we know it's them. They're still 3 points clear of Dallas, 8-1-1 in their last 10, 21-2-6 record, 48 points in 29 games. Dallas 25-5, 45 points in 30 games. They're 8-0-2 in their last 10 games. The Dallas is 10 points clear now of Minnesota, and Colorado's 13 points clear of Minnesota. So it isn't really a race after second place in the Central. Anaheim maintains their lead atop the division, which they had to because Vegas won today. So if Anaheim did not get both points in that game, they would not be first. They're 6-4 in their last 10 are the Ducks, 18-10-1 record, 37 points in 29 games. Vegas 14-6-8, 36 points in 28 games, 6-2-2 in their last 10, and they won 3-on-3 today. That's saying something. The Kings stay in third, of course. Oilers and Utah did not play. San Jose is back to being tied with Utah in terms of record. 14-13-3 record. 31 points in 30 games. They just do not have the tiebreaker on Utah. Chicago, tough loss. They're 2-6-2 in their last 10 now. 12-11-6 record. 30 points in 29 games. Chicago's playoff dream, I know they're only 1 point out, but it looks like they're just not interested. They've been shelled 13-1 in their last 2 games. They don't look interested in staying above the playoff line. St. Louis, with their win, 11-12-7 record, 29 points in 30 games. They're 5-3-2 in their last 10, and that win puts them ahead of Seattle, even though Seattle's played 4 fewer games. Then you got Calgary, Vancouver, and Nashville rounding out the West. So yes, I switched the East to this side and the West to this side. I didn't switch the magnets. I'll switch the magnets now. I just figured it's easier for me to read it from the app too and then just do the updating there. I've had some nights where I'm like, no, I need to go back now. I got to go up, so it's easier this way. But there you go. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, as always. Hit like and subscribe in the event you may not have done so already. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, whether it's for power rankings, for reviews, for news videos, for the list videos I do, whatever you watch. Thank you guys so much. To those who are in the top percentage of viewers to this channel, thank you guys so much for your patronage, and I hope that going into 2026, I can continue to provide you guys with that same content, even if my eyes aren't working very well right now. Having cataracts in both eyes isn't fun. Anyways, that being said, it's cloudy in both eyes. It's kind of a fight. So thank you guys so much for understanding and for following and for subscribing and liking if you've done so already. That being said, I'm done for now. I will talk to you again. Well, tomorrow morning we'll be doing the preview for Monday and Tuesday. I'll talk to you then.